Just a couple of best friends hanging out, best friends hanging out, best friends hanging out.
Yeah. Well, I'm here with my special guest today. And it's not my cat Presley, who is also in the room, but our good friend, everyone's good friend, Adam, the betrothed. Betrothed? Is that how you say it?
That's exactly how you say it.
Betrothed Bolenbaugh.
Betrothed you? Read it, Presley.
She's on. Dude, she's trying to make you cheat on Noel.
Loves the smell of my cats and is very curious about them.
Really? Because she hates the smell of my cat.
Other cat. So, quick review on so far.
Oh,
on
my cat situation, which
yes,
has
because you
doubled over the past month. So we went to Oakland and went to this cute little like foster home that had a whole litter of kittens. We went to see this one named Baby Shark, which was a cute little like gray and white one with blue creepy eyes. And we liked its brother better, who was named Gremlin, and now we know why it's called Gremlin, because it's a complete psychopath, and he runs around and screams, and at nighttime it for sure goes crazy. And Presley, my old cat, my old young cat, still younger than Evan's cat, hates it. Just absolutely hates him. And today, actually, we've been feeding him on like both sides of the door, either side of the door, because I guess that makes them associate each other with food, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but apparently it's good. And when I opened the door to feed my little one, it darted out the door and saw, Presley, the older one, and wanted to give it a big kitty hug, just sprinted towards it, and it got 5 punches to the face real quick. It didn't know what hit him. But he's so dumb, he turned around and ran back in the room and then immediately started eating.
It's comfort food.
So that's my cat situation. I have 2 cats. One likes the big one. The big one hates the little one. And now I have to constantly live in separate rooms.
You're like the mediator. You're like one of the people in like The Wire, like one of the police officers in between the different gangs, and you're just like trying to keep the peace and make sure the old lady.
But there's only one gang. It's like one gang constantly beating up a child. It's like what I have here.
And then the child wants to hang out with the gang.
It'll become the gang eventually. So what are you drinking today?
I've got a Purple Haze. A raspberry lager. Thought it was an IPA.
It is.
It is a 4% raspberry lager.
Should have for sure been a hazy IPA,
but it's pretty good.
It is called Purple Haze for the record.
And there's a guy from a seemingly witch doctor from New Orleans.
Is it Voodoo?
It's Voodoo.
Is that who that makes it?
Yeah. No, it's Abita.
Oh, Abita. Yeah.
But it looks like the witch doctor from.
You got this.
Oh my god!
You can
Princess and the Frog. Thank you.
It would be a Disney movie.
It is a Disney movie. The dude walks around Disneyland.
If there's 2 things Adam knows, it's Disney and what else? What do you know? What do you say?
Disney and Disney songs.
And, board games. Anyway. Yeah, so I decided to bring. We actually had a pretty fun Saturday, right? That was Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came over. Colin was in town, so that was the occasion. We played some beer pong. You were actually on fire in beer pong.
Who?
You were.
Yeah, I was okay.
Yeah.
I was surprised at I don't know, the Bud Lights. I hadn't had Bud Lights in a while. You can drink a lot of Bud Lights and be fine. It was weird.
You just drove on home.
No, I did not drive. I took an Uber actually, and I had the most interesting Uber driver who was just basically telling me the entire time was talking about how he was trained as an EMT and it's helped him in all his different jobs and security and he's just constantly having to save people.
He's basically telling you how he's a superhero.
Yeah. But then also complaining that I wanted to go to Oakland because then he was worried he was going to have to drive to San Francisco.
I might have to save people out there. It's a violent town.
He was on a roll. I was just please just get me home. It's 11.
That's so funny. We had one time, I think it was me, Weaver, maybe Colin. It wasn't Colin. Me, Bacon, and Weaver were getting a ride home from Will's house. And this guy was playing this really exotic music that sounded kind of lightweight lo-fi, not super professional, you know?
Mhm.
And he's like, do you guys like this? And we're like, yeah, man, it's great. And then he cranked it all the way up, and we kind of wagered that it was his own band and his own personal music. But, yeah, he was a real weirdo. Uber drivers, I guess you can kind of expect it.
It's a. What are you doing?
Oh, Presley is
Oh yeah, for the
doing the kneading
not
thing.
in the room.
Yeah, for those not watching the video feed that we don't have, Presley is in the room because she's been kind of left out in the dark with the new one. We have to kind of ignore her more because the little one is, you know, the new one, and we just have to take care of the little one. Does that make any sense to you?
Presley's very sweet. You know,
Yeah.
words came out. I was focused on Presley. She
Anyway.
was just kneading dough in the making little cat bread.
So we have been doing, I've been doing more podcasts than our friend Andrew Beaver and Karen Grawl. Those two haven't put out a podcast in as long as I can remember, and a sober podcast and even longer than I can
That's for
remember. Way back there. I mean, I remember Riverboat Ralph, but I don't remember the last time I heard the voice.
Are we sure Weaver's
Of Aaron
even
Beaver.
back from the desert? Did he just like move there and like this is their life? They're just staying through till
I've always kind of pictured
December.
his family like hills have eyes, you know?
You know, I never saw that one on.
Well, you'll watch it and it'll just be like a light bulb going off over your head. Ding! It's Andrew Beaver and his family just in the desert eating women.
my God. Turn.
That's what they didn't expect.
I have not seen that movie. Usually, like, know what happens, like Halloween. You know, guy wears a mask and has a knife. Jason, guy wears a mask and has a
How
machete.
many horror movies have you seen in your life?
Hills Have Eyes. Eat people. Okay. Jeepers Creepers. There's
Real
a bat
question,
thing, right?
How many horror movies have you seen in your life?
A good amount. Not like the early ones. Not a lot when I was growing up, but more so like recently. Noel's really into horror movies or scary
Princess
movies.
and the Frog doesn't count as a horror movie.
That one, there's scary parts.
There's a voodoo guy.
No joke. Snow White, the forest
Scared the
scene
shit
scared
out
the shit out of me as a kid. That was a horror movie.
Yeah, that just those old ones kind of have like this inherent darkness to it, though. Like for some reason,
Yeah.
they're way creepier. Like those older ones are way creepier.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it like I remember watching this one cartoon version of the Peter and the Wolf, that symphonic.
So scary.
Yeah, so terrifying. His dad is like yelling at him, or grandpa's like yelling at him or something, and when he's yelling at him, his shadow like turns into a wolf. So it's like his dad is like turning, whatever the fuck he is, grandpa dad, to turn into the wolf. Freaked me out as a kid. I would like hid under my bed.
Grandpa Dad.
I am my own grandpa. Anyway, so yeah, we had a fun Saturday, and then Sunday. Where do you watch the games? Did you get to watch them at all?
Not really. We went and checked out a venue in the morning, and then I watched part of the Raider game, and then I turned the Raider game off.
So you're trying to tell us that you're not married yet, despite
despite your report of a actual wedding. Yeah, I'm sure everyone saw through that farce.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
But no, yeah, went and saw like a venue, and then afterwards watched the Raider game, and then stopped watching the Raider game.
So what happened in the Raider game? Can you break down that Raider game?
Well, I think it was very similar to the Jets game in that they like as soon as one thing goes wrong. Actually, it's like exactly like the Replacements. Shane Falco's speech talks about quicksand. One thing goes wrong, and then another thing goes wrong.
The first thing that goes wrong is stepping into quicksand.
Yes.
And then once you're in the quicksand,
Trying to get you out.
anything that you
anything
do,
drags you in.
unless someone grabs you out.
Yeah. So, Carr like throws a pick on the first drive, and it from Romo's analysis just sounded like really good coverage that he hadn't seen before. So it's like, okay, it's one pick, and then the Chiefs go and score, but then the Raiders are only down one score, and then they fumble the next kickoff, and then
Can't win.
I don't think the Chiefs even scored on that one, but then the Raiders got it back, and then Carr throws a pick six like another drive or two later. So it was just all of a sudden they had 14 points off turnovers. Like it becomes 21-0, and it's over by, again, just like the first time they played the Chiefs, it's over by halftime. and then it's just a fucking nightmare. So
Well, as we all know, I bet Colin a frisbee chug, a disc chug, that the Raiders would cover the 10-point spread. I thought that 10-point spread was ridiculous. I was like, they're going to bounce back from the Jets game because they're a good team. I didn't think they were a bad team or mediocre team. I thought the Raiders were a good team who just kind of fucked up on the East Coast.
Mhm.
And granted, they're at Arrowhead, and they've had the most wonky, worst schedule of any team that I've maybe ever seen. Just back-to-back road games. They weren't at home for like 2 months, it felt like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought they would cover that 10-point spread. It was actually 10.5, but I gave Colin 10, and or Colin gave me 10 rather, and that was over in the blink of an eye. Like,
It was so fast.
yeah,
I don't know. They're like Raiders just give up massive plays and the Chiefs score massive plays, so it's just like destiny. Also, I think it's got to be like at least twice in the past like 4 years that the Raiders have had to play Chiefs and Andy Reid after a bye when he's he's like 14-3 or something after a bye.
Yeah, he is amazing.
It's just like can we switch that schedule like a little bit? Share the love, share the load.
Yeah, share the load, dude. After I said the Raiders could potentially go 10-4, it's all downhill from there.
Well, that was the thing.
Or
Everyone's
sorry,
like, okay,
10-6.
they're gonna beat the Jets and they're gonna roll, and then it was just like, oh no, fucking Sam Darnold.
Dude, you were gloating hard about that bet. How do you feel about that now?
I
It's
think they'll get
8-8,
one.
right?
The bet was 7 wins.
Oh, damn it.
It
What do
was
I
6
owe
over.
you?
A nice Oakland drink. That's how drunk we were when we made the bet.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. That's what we came to.
A nice Oakland drink. Did you have to listen back to the podcast, go back to the tape?
No, it wasn't on tape.
Oh, where was it?
The Buffalo Bills one was on. The Bills Patriots was on. The bet was on was at their A's game, and then I put it in like our group chat.
Okay.
So
you had
other
to
people
scroll all the way.
Yeah, if we scroll for a few months, I'm sure we'll find it.
Oh my god. Well, someone do that. Colin, you're not doing much these days. Get out. Get to scrolling, buddy. Definitely not podcasting.
Stop averaging people's scores and use some of that time to scroll through and find our bet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please. Thank you, Colin. So yeah, the Panthers also. Would you rather lose like the Panthers did or lose like the Raiders did?
Probably like the Raiders, because then I get to turn it off and go play Spider-Man. It's a great video game. Brought to you by Spider-Man.
I can picture you rage quitting the Raiders game.
Yeah, I mean, I put it on my iPad, so it was like I wasn't a horrible fan, but it was just bad.
Yeah,
like
bad.
what was the score? 40-9 at the end, or something like that.
I
So,
lost track. Can't count that high.
yeah, I would rather lose that way, so then you just kind of quickly disconnect. Whereas you were dragged along like a cat on a hike.
Yeah. I was disconnected. I was like, oh, wow, they're really losing to the Redskins. It's over. And then they score and get the onside kick. So then they're driving to get to the 1 or 2 yard line, something like that. And for some reason, Christian McCaffrey cannot get over the 1 yard line when it matters. Like when it matters, he can't get past. He got stonewalled like 3 times, maybe twice, and then an incomplete pass. And then Kyle Allen, I don't know how you lose 20 yards on 4th and goal.
We were in field goal range.
You lose 20 yards, and then you trip over your own heels and fumble it. It's just like the worst possible.
That's so bad.
4th. I mean, it wasn't for the game. We still needed the 2-point conversion, but they've lost 3 games on like within the 5 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
They could have tied the Packers. Got stuffed at the goal line. They could have tied the Redskins, and they got they ran backwards 20 yards and then fumbled it.
Like a 10-year-old playing Madden, just going back.
It was exactly like that. It was so ridiculous. And then, of course, losing to Tampa Bay on the 1 yard line and getting stuffed there too. And they would have won that game. They were down 4 in that one. So, and then Ron Rivera gets fired.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I think it's just the new owner trying to get his fingerprint on it. I mean, I could see how... I don't know, man. I haven't really looked into it a ton, to be honest. I haven't looked into it a whole ton. I've been kind of bummed out about it, and also super busy, so haven't been paying attention, but it seems like it was kind of maybe time to change. I mean, I was in college when Ron got hired, 2011.
That's a long time ago.
So it's a long time.
Yeah, maybe it'll be good, but I always worry about those. I mean, they always, I don't know, not always. They seem to work out, but it's always like, who are you going to get? Like, who's out there to, like, you're going to bring in Hugh Jacks.
Hugh Jack City?
Yeah. He's just ripping and ready to go.
Dude, we're going to hire Bill Simmons, dude.
Oh, my God.
From The Ringer. Take him away. He always seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Oh, he's very adamant.
Yeah. Dude,
he's a genius.
Why not put him in? Anyway, let's get into this, man.
I'm in. I'm ready.
So,
I've done no research and I'm ready.
Don't say that. Evan, the arbiter of...
The arbiter of research?
If you haven't done any research, we only get 45 minutes. I call him the network. Evan, the network Bryden.
Why is he the network?
Because he'll cancel your ass.
Oh, okay.
Evan, the network Bryden. Last time I was 52, but he spared me. So let's start with the fun bracket that everyone loves. Let's go with the consolation to start with.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it. That's the other debate. Do you think to the overall, everyone in the league overall, do you think people enjoy the consolation bracket more or enjoy the championship bracket more?
I think from a majority perspective, they enjoy the consolation more because we always, like, you've seen people talk about it this year. No one can pick who they want to win. It's always like, well, I mean, Bill's won a lot. So
I have two on my side. I got Scott and Evan, so that's good.
And Pebbles, definitely not. He's always winning. Colin deserves fourth place.
He's getting fourth place, and I'm sending him there. It's going to be fucking awesome.
I like you in I like that you're shit talking in the championship. Usually, that doesn't happen as much.
No, it's tough because you want to stay humble.
Exactly,
because you get humbled real quick.
You get humbled.
What's going to happen to me? I'm going to call it. As much as I want to shit talk, what's going to happen to me is I'm going to get in the fourth place game, and I'm not even going to win any money. I'm going to get fourth place.
That would be.
I'm going to have perfect. The best year I've ever had. The best year most people have ever had.
And you're going to get the fedora.
And I'm going to get the fucking fedora. I'm about to make that fedora out of this cat here because it needs to make room for the little one. Yes, you are.
She's a cutie, though.
But anyway, all kidding aside, I do think I have a strong chance to win. Let's get back to the consolation bracket.
We're not talking about that yet, though.
Yeah, let's get back to the consolation bracket.
All
right. So we only have two people in the running for the Sacco. The other two are completely irrelevant now in this league. One is Andrew Weaver. The other is Scott Novum. Those two are completely irrelevant, so we're just going to...
Yeah, they don't... It's almost like...
Shoot him at the airlock.
Yeah, Weaver's either going to get 7th or 8th.
Yeah, it's not exciting.
Sick.
So, good for you. And his team is always projected to score really high. 126. So
he can use all those 126 points against Bye, because that's who he's playing.
Bye. I don't think he's scored. I mean, it would be an interesting deep dive. Colin, get on this. How many times he's outscored his projection? Because I don't think it's been really ever.
I also don't think I've ever outscored.
Maybe the first week.
I don't think I've ever outscored my projection.
But he's always up there for like 130, 120, and it's like, dude, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Scott has made a return to the chat room.
He has. He's actually blowing up the messages
as
we're podcasting.
What is he saying?
I don't know. I think there's a little barrage in a row right there. Yep.
Oh, yep. Oh, no. Yeah, dumb. Okay. What is he talking about? Still 99% still top 99% of society. You know what? No one liked that. That was 3 minutes ago. I'll like that one for you, Scott. Anyway,
he qualified for membership in Turtle. Your acceptance letter and information about
who's more triggered right now, you or Scott? It seems like Scott's
hard
pretty
copies of the form. Scott came in. He came in triggered and became more triggered.
It's because people were talking shit on his performance, not spending any money on the.
I think it was more shocked, talking shit, but also shocked that he was able to do that. Like to not once win a bid if he ever.
He never tried for a bid. No. Nothing like that.
It's impressive to be so confident in your team
Yeah.
despite your record.
He's lying. There's no way. He just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, how could he be confident in this pile of shit? Yes. Phillip Rivers on his team. Like, can we chill?
Philly Riv.
He's got Tariq Cohen. He's got Greg Olson, who literally went unconscious like a UFC fighter in the middle of the game.
Like Mason Rudolph?
Yeah. Dude. Worse than Mason. Oh, what did Mason Rudolph lose his elbows too when he got knocked out? No. All of a sudden, there were no elbows. All right. So let's get
back to it. Yeah.
So two guys out of the consolation bracket, out of the fun. So that's
four.
We're gonna do a reverse ranking from least favorite to win the Sacco to favorite to win the Sacco. So obviously, Scott and Weaver are tied for fifth because they're not winning it.
I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
My least favorite to win the Sacco, to earn it.
Out of the four remaining.
Of the four.
Yeah.
That are in line, including myself. 3 Bay Area members, by the way. Tough showing for us. Tough showing. Really disappointed in us.
I'm disappointed in you guys too. But it's only 2.
Maybe you should have given me that win when Aaron Jones fucked up.
Hey, if San
Bring us all
Jose,
up, you
hey, if
didn't need
Santa freaking Campbell's in the Bay Area, dude, then the Niners are still in San Francisco. That's all I gotta
All
say.
right, so Bay Area plus Santa Cruz. I actually think Evan's team is the best because if you look at his team, he still has Patrick Mahomes, Saquon Barkley, Kareem
Saquon
Hunt,
hasn't had a good game forever, right?
Raheem Mostert. Yeah, but he's
5 points last week, 12 the week before that, 15, 24. I guess that 24 is pretty good, but that's against Detroit, who I guess everyone loves to feast on.
I mean, he's also going against Philadelphia, who when's the last time they
they just lost
gave
to
up
the
like 40 points to the Dolphins.
It's that white running back guy from Cal.
Well, to be fair, though, he had like 5 rushing yards.
Dude, Saquon Barkley at Philly with weather.
Yeah. Luckily, Pat Mahomes is playing against New England, so, Evan's got a bad matchup maybe this week, but then he's got Kareem Hunt against Cincinnati. Carlos Sutton's been killing it. Kupp kind of fell off with this whole Rams offense falling off, but maybe they'll get up for that Seattle game.
So you're really rolling with Drew Brees against the Niners.
No, not yet. I haven't made my final update. I'm not even in my final form.
Because look at the Panthers are hosting your boy Matt Ryan.
I've been playing the wrong quarterback for the last 3 weeks.
Ever since I said, oh, maybe you should start Matt Ryan.
I did change it before that.
That's good.
That podcast triggered me because I was just like, no one's going to listen to the podcast.
No, I can do it myself.
Stop making podcasts on Tuesdays. It was before waivers.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake. Let's see. Yeah, I actually like your team better. Jamison
Really?
Crowder is trash.
So who's your 4? Or who's your least likely to win the Sacco, to earn it?
Oh, what is up with Jamison Crowder?
He sucks.
So I'm just going to go one at a time, but I'm going to have a little spoiler alert. I think the loser of the other matchup wins the Sacco.
Oh, got it.
So I think you are the 4th least likely to win the Sacco. I think Evan's 3rd least likely.
Okay. So you think, okay.
And the reason is you guys just have good teams that have been underperforming and injured. Like, Jamison Crowder is a really tough wide receiver to have right now because he had 1.8 and 2.8 the last few weeks.
The 2 weeks before that, what were they, like 16,
He's been
17?
going off. It's either him or Robbie.
Yeah.
Either one of those guys goes off.
Red Robbie.
But then also Will Fuller is back. What's up with him?
He's back, but he has the constant Q. This fucking asshole.
17, 1, 1, 6, 47.7. Don't you wish that it was just every week? I actually watched I didn't watch it. I was in the locker room today trying to avoid the gaze of naked men. And there is a college football classic on, and it was Will Fuller on Notre Dame, I think.
What? I didn't know he was on Notre Dame.
I think he was.
O'Malley's just like, obviously he was on fucking Notre Dame.
Let's look. I'll click on him. I think he was on Notre Dame. Yeah, Notre Dame. Golden Domer. So
Golden Domer.
But you have Ezekiel Elliott, Aaron Jones. You got Kelsey, best tight end in the league. And
you're going to die on that
Jarvis
corner.
Jarvis Landry has a healthy target share.
He's caught a touchdown in every single game except for last game. of like 4 of 6.
Except for last game.
Except for the last
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I picked myself third after Evan. I just think
Evan does have
he's
Mostert.
just got the top
He's got
firepower.
Mostert too, and it looks like Mostert's going to be
He's the
dog,
Hostert
the lead
with
dog.
the Mostert.
Yeah. He's a Mostert. Mostert, get it? Mustard.
He's a mustard. He's a most. You get your mustard.
Mustard
to go with
no?
your ketchup.
Okay.
There's there's a Cooper Cupchup and Raheem Mustard name he could get there. You know?
Yeah, he could squeeze that out like you do
Okay,
with
moving
mustard
on.
and ketchup. All right, so
The dad
actually,
jokes are over.
the more I look at it, the more I realize that Evan actually does have a pretty good team.
Yes.
I'm still going to take you to win this one, though. I'm
Okay.
picking you.
You know what?
I'm picking you.
I'll appreciate the support. Last time you picked me to win, it was against, or not last time, but one of the times you picked me to win, actually on this podcast, it was against you, and I lost horribly. So,
Wow.
good track record.
I feel like I've picked you a few times.
Yeah, I mean in this
room.
In this room.
Oh, yeah.
The other time.
Let me take a little
Next.
Snapchat of you, by the way, just so everyone knows what's up.
So it looks like I'm.
You like surprised, actually. Like,
I do look surprised.
I'll send that to the group. So the next one is
that one's just for me.
yes. So now we have
The other matchup.
basically this is the Sacco Bowl. Like, let's be honest, this is the Sacco Bowl, the Sacco Bowl that no one's talking about.
Have you looked at the? Don't look at it yet. Have you looked at the percentages to win right now?
No.
Don't look.
No.
Guess who's favored to win and what the percentage is. This is between Bacon and O'Malley.
You're making it sound like a lot. So now I feel like it's going to be 65% Bacon to win.
72.
72? Do they have all their players in?
I mean,
I've never
looks
seen
that
so many single-digit projections on one person's team in my entire life. And the other thing is they're not even like high single digits. They're like all like 7s,
8, 7,
5,
5, 5,
6.
8. Well, he's projecting that Penny's going to steal more of the shares than they think. Geist just went off crazy another time, so I guess he's thinking they're going to expand his role against the Green Bay defense.
Dude, we were all rooting for Chocula in that last one, though. Still, why didn't he start Penny? Why would you pick up Penny and then not start him? Because think about it strategy-wise. If you're playing against Chris Carson, you would say it's either Penny who's going to get the points or Carson's going to get the points.
Kind of go that like daily fantasy type
Right?
thing, like
So
feast or
it's
famine.
like you're basically taking a coin flip that your guy's going to outperform the other guy in that regard. And instead, he just decided to start the Williams dude in Indianapolis and Sonny Michel. He left 2 backs on the bench, too. Hindsight hut real quick. Step back on the hindsight hut. He left 26 points on the table with, how do you say his last name? Geis?
Yeah, it's
Is that
Geis.
it?
It's
Geis?
Darius Geis.
Darius
It's
Geis.
Geis.
Dude, he's the one guy I can't pronounce his name at all. I'm like Aaron Weaver over here. And then Rashad Penny, 24.7.
Yeah, cool.
So that's
50
a whole
points right there.
Yeah, I almost said 60. 50,
Podcast.
50.4 points
Yeah.
left on the table. He would have had the money too. And I think Pebbles would have still been in the playoffs.
You think he would have won points?
Yeah, he had to.
Weaver?
He would have still been in the playoffs, but only by I think
2 points.
2 points.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Thanks a lot, Sean. And we've got Weaver, a little hindsight hut. How did he do?
Yeah, could he have?
Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty solid. Ingram really let him down, 7.2. That's tough. Madison, that would have got him to 2 points. Minnesota over Cleveland. Don't bet against Duck Hodges. Come on, bro. Anyway, we're getting a little off track here. Let's go back to Sean and Bacon.
home.
Oh, wait. Yeah, Sean and Bacon. So Who do you got in this match?
I have Bacon.
Yeah.
I think Bacon's the second most favorite just because the luck streak has been proven.
He's got a
this
lot
year.
of questionables on his team.
He has a-
Do you see that?
Questionable Ridley, questionable Conley, questionable Henry, and questionable Kittle.
Those are pretty much all his best players.
Questionable Sanu, questionable Williams, questionable or out Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Oh, little tip: you can move him right into that IR spot, make another pickup. Come on, man.
Do it. Juju is questionable.
I don't think
he's week to week. I don't think he's playing. Why rush him back?
God,
Breda's back,
what
which
a
could
bummer
hurt
of
our boy Mustard.
Yeah, maybe he's not a must start.
Maybe he's not a
Maybe
must
he's not a most start anymore.
I actually heard a stat today on a podcast that was talking about the Niners backfield and like the elusiveness stat. This is like a deep pebble stat, like trying to prove his point.
He's already quoting it in his head right
Yeah.
now, like before we've even said it. He's just like,
Deep
oh, it's
dive. He's
this.
like, I subscribe to PFF or whatever the hell he does to look up all these
he
stats.
pays like the coach's fees to like
These yards per route run fucking stats. It's like,
depth of ADOT, like attempted depth of target or something like that, or
oh, the God damn it, what is that called? I mentioned it
average
on an
depth of
earlier
target,
podcast, but it was damn it. Anyway, this one was about elusiveness. So it's like when there's a tackler within a certain vicinity, like if they get past that tackler and like get more yards, apparently his elusiveness rating is like leaps and bounds, like top 4 or something like that in the
Breda's?
NFL. No, Mustard.
Mustard.
And apparently his is like top 4 in the league, whereas the other 2 Niners backs are like way down there.
Interesting.
So fool's gold. It's faker gold in their helmets.
Who's the? And then they have like that Wilson guy who will just come in and score 30-yard like rushing touchdowns up the middle.
Who's this Wilson character?
Wilson Jr.
Wilson!
Jr.
Because the first one died at sea. We all know that.
Wilson, he could
Sr.
still be alive. Maybe he just went back
He
to
just
the
floated
island.
on off. That's probably where he did go, huh?
Back to the island.
Yeah, it makes
That
sense.
was his home. That was where he was created.
And also that's where the tide goes. Mostly. Back.
Mostly. So he could have been rowing for days. We don't know. The timing on that movie is pretty arbitrary, if you ask me.
Yeah. His beard is pretty shabby, though, for...
How did he not get hepatitis or like I don't know, like some
appendicitis
infection
or some
when he
shit?
fucking cut his hand and his thigh open in like day 2 and is just like, I'll be fine.
He
Rub
rubbed
some
salt
dirt
on the
on it.
wound. That's what you're supposed to do when you get wounded. You rub salt in it.
And then you put it underground and then you can eat it later. Salt your meats.
You put it in there with some smoking
some smoking
husk or
chips.
some shit. Oh my God, we're at 32 minutes. Evan's gonna cancel.
Oh fuck!
All right,
so in order we have Evan least likely or me least likely if we follow your rankings.
yeah,
and
I
then,
think we can agree that if we put both of ours together, you were leaning more heavily towards Evan being least likely, and I was kind of a toss up. So we'll go Evan, then you, and then we're gonna
Bacon.
go Bacon. But look at this, Henry questionable. He's going to play, though, because they're
He'll
actually
play.
hunting a wild card spot. So he's going to play.
And this is the time when he just rips off 80-yard touchdown runs.
And then the second best tight end in the league, I can't even say tight end in the league, George Kittle. What? Kittle has reportedly been limited with a broken ankle? That's
He's been
literally what it
playing with a
says. It
broken ankle?
literally says limited with a broken ankle, but his yards per routes run or whatever the fuck.
They're high.
It says he only runs like 8 because his fucking ankle's broken. Pebbles. Anyway, he's only had over 100 receiving yards twice this year. Anyway.
Name another player in the league that would start as a whatever their position
play with a
one,
broken ankle?
and with a broken fucking
Well,
ankle.
clearly not Cam Newton, for one. His broken foot just got surgery on it today, actually, I think.
Yeah, what was he doing with it? Were they like trying to rehab? They were just icing
rubbing
it for a while?
vegan cream on it or whatever the fuck he does.
He put a hat on it.
He's so weird, dude. He's like a vegan or some shit. Like there was legitimate concerns that he wasn't getting enough protein to help his rehab and shit like that. It's like, okay, Cam, I guess, but still better than Kyle Allen.
All right, you ready to move on to the?
I just want to kind of talk about real quick.
yeah.
DJ Chark has Minshew back, so Chark's going to be a little more effective.
Despite does he have a questionable tag?
He has a questionable tag. I think he'll play though.
He's been a godsend, though it hasn't translated to wins.
He has Brown on the bench playing Oakland, who's given up all of the yards receiving. So I would maybe think about going real boomy, because right now he has a bunch of, I mean, I know Cole Beasley had a nice revenge game, but he has a lot of like medium ceiling, low floor guys, right?
God, Brissett is so bad.
And like, I feel like he could have a few guys who could maybe hit a home run here for him.
Potentially, you think he just needs to swing for the fences?
I think he needs to swing for the fences, yeah. Especially when his projected is down.
Maybe he's saving up all
93.
his swings for
The
next
real
week.
dude. He's gonna rest his players.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest the broken ankles.
He's going to call their families, be like, you should just tell them to
Take it
chill
easy
this week. Next week's the real.
But this is the real Sacco Bowl, in my opinion.
You think it's that one?
Yeah. So,
You know, as they say, that's why you play the game.
question:
Yes.
how close have you come to winning Sacco before?
The closest I came was 2 years ago with my first David Johnson season, when I was horrendous all year. Was putting up I was the last of the Tarikans, and then in this week I beat Weaver on like a Monday night Matt Ryan Jameis Winston like battle off, where like he played Jameis.
So you were in the Sacco Bowl?
No, I was in the.
Weren't you for the
semis? I
West
wasn't.
Wing?
I've never been. I almost. That was the first year we were in the
Okay.
U. I was almost in it, but by
Yeah.
the skin of my teeth, had the best week of the year for myself and beat Weaver. Right
We've had a
before the
lot
Sacco
of
Bowl.
East versus West, East Wing versus West Wing Sacco Bowl consolation bracket
I
games.
mean, there's a decent chance it happens. If O'Malley has the game of his life this week,
yeah.
it could be me and Bacon.
Yeah, I had a Sacco off with Bacon last year.
I remember that. Oh
And,
my God.
My team was terrible. I think I was 1-10 last year. Let me take a look.
Were you really?
Can't I get this is a fucking redemption story that I have here, dude. Look at this. Look at the standings. I was 2-11. And I think one of those
Who
wins
was below you?
Justin, because I
Bacon.
beat him in the Sacco Bowl. No one else was within 2 wins, or everyone else, like Peppers, Mahomes, and Tyler were within like 2 wins better than me. And yeah, what ended up happening in this consolation bracket? I ended up losing to Moncrief of Micemen. That's a classic name. Who is that? Max. Love you, Max. I got destroyed by Moncrief of Micemen and went to the Sacco Bowl, and then Justin put up 78.
78.
And he put up 69 the week before that. So a deserving Sacco, if you ask me. All right, so do you want to get into the championship?
Yes.
The adult bracket, the big boys table?
Truly don't know who I'm rooting for.
The adult table. Well, I'm rooting for myself. I have a bye this week, but it couldn't have come at a better time because I have Marlon Mack coming back. And I don't know if they're going to ease him back in. And it's like so scary to play a guy right when he comes back from an injury. And you don't know what his usage is going to be. So I get to sit back and watch his usage and also keep him in my IR spot for a whole week and see how the rest of my roster does. And then figure out who I'm going to cut after that. So that's cool. And it also plays keep away for anyone who might want to pick someone off my roster this week.
Yeah, I'm really waiting for you to drop somebody off your
Marquise
roster.
Brown.
You're going to drop Marquise
Colin
Brown?
would pick him up in a heartbeat and then
Well, Colin has
rub
like
one out to
17 fucking wide receivers. So
17 fucking wide receiver. So we have, do you want to start from the least likely to win? I think it's Hawk and Cock.
you think Hawk and Cox?
Hawk and Cock.
That
He's
makes
had
sense.
some rough weeks. And love Brad. Everyone loves Brad.
Of course.
He's probably who the majority of people...
Bo Scarborough.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Bo Scarborough was running good, though, right?
I think so, but it's just the name.
James
He's
Conner's
fine.
hurt. T.Y. Hilton has been... I mean, he was
Griffin's
doing...
been scoring
yeah.
touchdowns as a tight end.
So let's see. Hawk and Cock put up Last week against me, 93. The week before that, 68. The week before that, let's see. That might have been a high score for him. 104. So he hasn't put up over, and then he put up 152. So he hasn't put up over 104 in the last 3 weeks, which is not great.
Not the best trend, you would say.
Including 2 times over 100, not over 100, the last 2 times. And then we have Colin, Allen of Troy, for fucking trotting that bullshit name out again. He's got a lot of really good players. I mean, since maybe the midway point when Tyreek Hill came back, I would say Tyreek Hill is probably one of the best wide receivers. And other than that dud 0-point game, which that was another Bill Miracle Monday, right?
Yeah.
He had another
Hamstring pull on the first attempted catch.
And then Amari Cooper has been incredible. And then he had a down week
Despite
last
his
week.
one.
I guess he had a tough one against New England with 0. That's like an Oakland Raiders type performance for Amari.
Gilmore just shut him down.
Shut his ass down. So I guess he's been a little bit hit or miss these last 4 weeks. 26, 5, 0, and 12.
Yeah, Hooper's been out.
That's true.
He was one of his big. He's finally playing Marvin Jones Jr. Let's see if this is the
chasing the dragon.
Those big wigs.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at those points. 8, 7, 19, 9, 3, 38, 4.
And that 38 was juicy. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He looks so fucking old. He looks like Whoopi Goldberg. All right. Anyway, he's still trotting out old young ho. Never trust a young ho. I guess it's against Carolina, so he could put up 8,000 points against us.
I mean, he scored 8 or above the last 4 weeks. Cool.
Yeah. And Josh Allen is on the bench for Baker Mayfield against a suddenly resurgent Cincinnati team.
I don't know. They got their one win. They're fine. They saw that the Redskins and the Dolphins were winning, and so they were like, okay, we can get our win, avoid the 0-16.
I mean, they gave up 34 to Lamar, but the last 3 weeks it's 19, 9, and 10 against, I guess it is Duck Hodges and Sam Darnold, but Baker Mayfield has a hurt hand, right? His throwing hand's all fucked up.
I didn't see him after the game, but people were talking about
how bloated he looked.
Fat he looked. It's like, oh my God.
He looked like me 3 weeks ago.
He looked like Seth Rogen in Max's gif from Neighbors.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, he's going to be real tough. Baker Mayfield, I would not start him. I would run with Josh Allen against Baltimore. You got to dance with the girl who brought you there. You can't go in the playoffs all of a sudden and start Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's not
what are you
Mayfield
doing?
of Troy.
He put up 8 points last week.
You think he's just tinker? Oh my God! If this is what gets him into the 4th place game, can you imagine?
Dude, if he tries to come at me with that bullshit fucking Baker Mayfield, I'm going to squish him like a bug, dude.
You're going to hit him with the
crippler crossface. Yeah. Put him in the walls of Jericho like I did on the beach that one day. Just bend him in half like an accordion.
Put him in the half crab.
Yeah. Boston crab, dude. Anyway, let's go back to Colin. So I feel like everyone on his team has been underperforming the last maybe few weeks. Let's take a look at. So last week he put up a paltry 98 in the loss to Weaver. The week before that, a paltry 89. The week before that, 121 in a loss. And then, he was rolling high before that, 136. So Colin also failing to score 100 points the last 2 weeks.
Colin did call out that it's Galladay versus Marvin Jones Jr. and Gallup versus Cooper on these teams. So
that's cool.
Those games will be, and they're playing each other, so it's all in one game.
Must-watch TV.
Must-watch TV. And then you have Evans versus Tyreek Hill. That could be great because if Mike Evans scores, he scores 1 million.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't score 1 million, it's under 5.
Yeah.
Could be. That'll be an interesting one.
And
I don't even know who to pick on this.
I love Aaron Rodgers against Washington.
Do you think Colin's just throwing us off by putting Baker Mayfield in? It's such a shocking start.
It's such a shit start. It has to be, right? Christian Kirk he's so bad. He can't. I don't
This
know.
is a ploy. This is a ploy.
I don't know how Hawkencock's rolling with Christian Kirk in the flex.
He's hoping for that 35
McLaurin. I know McLaurin hasn't been great lately. I guess not for the last 7 weeks. So never mind. LaShawn McCoy. I guess. Oh God, that's a tough spot too against New England. But I think that Darwin Thompson. I think that's fool's gold. I think they were already ahead by so much. They're like, let's throw in this chucklehead.
They were very ahead.
Yeah. Let's
They had
throw
a
this
lot of
chucklehead
points.
in and save.
Can you say chucklehead? Is that?
Chucklehead?
Are you allowed to say
Is that racist?
I don't know.
I don't think it's racist. I think it's.
We'll get our fact checkers on that.
Hey Google.
Is this
chucklehead
racist?
I don't think it is. It's just like a moron. It's like a dummy. It's like a clown face. Can you say clown face? Anyway,
Insane Clown Posse's just
for some
freaking
reason
out
we just
somewhere.
get so. Anyway, yeah, I think what they were trying to do is save LaShawn McCoy as their one for sure healthy veteran guy who can pass block. And I mean, they're playing fucking New England, so
Yeah, this
they're
is
going to
the
need
game.
someone to protect a gimpy Mahomes. Like,
Do they use him as a pass blocker though? I feel like they only put him in when they want him to carry the ball. It's like limit his
LaShawn?
old ass touches.
well, I mean, he
Yeah.
can protect better than Darwin Thompson.
Yeah, is Damian Williams just dead?
Apparently, the Williamses are dead.
The,
The Williams sisters are dead.
the Williams were dead to begin
Venus
with.
and Serena are both out for the game. No, one's questionable. I saw it on Bacon's. All right, so
Who are you taking in this one?
it depends kind of for me how T.Y. Hilton or James Conner bump into that Christian Kirk flex or that Johnson against Denver running back, because I do like Conner if he plays against Arizona, and maybe that would kind of stem the tide. But I want the prophecy to come true, so I'm picking Colin to win this one. And I think Hawkencock is the sixth most likely to win. So who do you think out of these other guys, Walrus and Max, who do you think is less likely? Or Colin. You can throw Colin. Or me. If you want to throw me in there, you can.
Out of principle, you and Bill have a better chance of winning.
With the bye.
I can't pick somebody that's, not. You guys have been performing well all year, so I got nothing to say there. Pebbles, who's he got going? Wentz, Lockett. Is Thielen going to actually play finally?
Dude, he is the biggest cock tease ever.
He did not practice for walkthrough, so
He's like
bad
that
sign.
that hot chick in high school that Pebbles keeps asking out and then just keeps getting stood up at the table.
Table?
Yeah, you're at the dinner table, you're waiting for her to come, never comes. He's like,
It's like at the Benihana.
I'll just pay my bill. He like has maybe a glass of red wine.
In high school?
Well, sorry, he's still asking her out years later.
Man, Concord was wax.
Anyway, that was maybe not the best analogy, but I don't think Thielen ever plays again.
He's dead. Kamara's been disappointing.
He has been.
But he could easily... he's just so scary.
Against the Niners defense,
Oh,
though?
never mind. He's not scary.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be... Well, they gave up
And then
a million
Carson-
points to the McCaffrey.
Yeah, and then Carson all of a sudden in a timeshare.
I don't know. I feel like Carson... For some reason, they just will never stop giving it to, like, their guy. And I think he's still their guy for now.
Maybe.
Maybe it changes mid-game, but I would bet Carson has 15 points.
Yeah. So let's go on to...
I didn't pick anybody.
sorry.
I'm going to pick Maxwell in this one. I think Russell's just... I'm
picking-
Devontae Parker? Oh, he's been going crazy.
Devontae Parker's been going off.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook's questionable. That's something that's actually huge to watch because he's so
Limited.
important to Max's success. DK Metcalf, how's he been doing? Pretty great, right?
I think Dalvin Cook plays. They're in a wild card spot. They need to win. So
I think Max ends Pebbles' season. I think Thielen doesn't show up. I think Kamara continues to struggle. I'm picking Max. So, yeah, I'm going to go Hawkencock, then Pebbles in my bottom rankings, and those two guys will be playing for 5th place.
I'm going Hawkencock at 6, Pebbles as 5, Colin as 4,
Colin
and
as
Max
5.
the most likely in this round to win the championship, because I don't know. I like Odell Beckham's upside, even though he hasn't shown it forever. He could go off at any moment. Dalvin Cook is a top 3 running back in the league, top 2 maybe. Russell Wilson's just been incredible this year. Devontae Parker all of a sudden is just getting all the rub.
4th-year breakout.
Yeah.
Would you feel any different if Colin was fucking had Josh Allen in his starting lineup?
No, I mean, I didn't look at their matchups like down the road.
Me neither.
But I'd imagine Josh Allen would be a pretty good. I mean, it's gonna be Max versus Bill, and it's gonna be me versus Colin.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, do you think I'm more likely to beat Colin and move on, or Bill's more likely to beat Max and move on, and then I'm more likely to beat Bill and win the championship?
You're leading the witness. Is Julio going to play? That was a surprise during last week.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I don't know how it was a next man up type of attitude in my locker room. No,
Gus Edwards was just like, I got you, coach.
dude, I think my team's looking really strong, to be honest. I've got Lamar. All of a sudden, DJ Moore is playing like a wide receiver 1 or 2 at the very least.
Alshon Jeffrey, is he back?
Alshon Jeffrey had 16
God,
targets last week for 137 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Julio Jones is Julio Jones. I've got Lamar Jackson.
Melvin
Gordon has been playing real steady. And then James White, I don't really trust him, but he's a great flex option.
Yeah.
33 points last week. And then Zach Ertz is still skill-wise a top 3 tight end.
You're not going with 2 yards per carry Jordan Howard?
Dude, I don't know.
Oh, he's out.
I'll have Marlon Mack, who will be playing. So I can
Right.
I can either, at that point, week 15, either play Marlon Mack against New Orleans or what's his name? Jordan Howard against Washington.
Or Sterling Shepard against
Miami, yeah.
So Melvin Gordon's got a tough matchup against Minnesota. Julio Jones against San Francisco. Oof.
Ugh.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Marlon Mack against New Orleans? Yuck.
I know. Although, you can score on New Orleans, I feel like.
They're the 29th ranked team against running backs.
That's bullshit. Now, let's see what's up with this. This is a deep dive.
Or 29th ranked team. When
they gave
you
up
were
30 points to Christian McCaffrey, but that's the best running back in football. Who have they really played who's an elite running back? Leonard Fournette put up 14.8. Ezekiel Elliott put up 13.5.
That's fine.
Todd Gurley put up 14. So they really haven't played a lot of good running backs, to be honest. I mean, they played Seattle, and they did well against them. But I think they've still lost to Seattle, right?
Yeah, I'll pick you over Colin. We already went through his. I'm assuming he's going to somehow play Baker Mayfield 2 weeks in a row.
Just checkmate himself.
He's going to do that.
Figure out a way.
Josh Allen would be playing against Pittsburgh the next week. So anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But
yeah.
To move it along, I'm going to pick you over Colin. In the other matchup, it's Max versus
It's really
Bill. hard.
That's a really tough one. Yeah.
Kyler Murray's been so hit or miss. It's probably going to come down to how well he plays. I guess Will Lutz might have a million. No, Will Lutz might have a million points again because he's amazing. Unbelievable. Best pick of that round, probably.
Will Lutz?
Yeah, because Bill took him like the third to last round. It's genius.
Genius.
Hollister keeps getting weird touchdowns.
Yeah. He does.
McCaffrey is so fucking good.
McCaffrey is really the one. And at what point, and I am wondering, at what point are they going to either limit his workload or push for the records? Because he's within striking distance of some all-purpose yard records that I think Y2, what's his name? CJ2K. I almost call him Y2J. CJ2K is held. So It's if they hit the gas pedal on them, could be scary for the fantasy playoffs. And if they decide to, put them in bubble wrap and wait till next year, then that could be scary too.
I mean, outside of McCaffrey and I don't know, Keenan, I guess Chris Godwin.
Godwin is incredible.
Oh my God. Oh my Godwin.
Oh my Godwin.
I'm having a tough time on this one a lot.
Leonard Fournette.
Singletary's been good. He's solid.
Yeah, he started. All I see is green in his matchup.
He could just.
He's got Jameis Winston against Detroit. He's got Darren Felt. Well, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna go with Bill.
I'm going with Bill too.
I just don't love the Tyrell Williams play. He's gonna get nothing. Maybe he'll switch him out by then. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Jacob Hollister.
I'm gonna go you versus Bill in the finals, and I'm gonna pick Bill because the dude cannot stop winning. He never stops.
Yeah,
and then I'm picking Max over Colin in the third place game because tradition. Colin surprised us all last year by not getting fourth place.
Yeah.
So get back. I mean, prove.
Didn't he get fourth place in the consolation bracket?
He did. Yeah.
Did he?
Maybe. I don't
Wait,
know.
let's take a look.
It.
This is.
But Colin, prove that you can get back to where you've been. This is a challenge to Colin.
Challenge to Colin. All right, let's look at it. We've been going back to last year too much. All right, so what is it? Ninth place game. Who's Fight Milk?
That's O'Malley.
Dude, these names are funny. The Bell Hath Toll, of course, that's Weaver. So wait, was Colin even in this?
I thought he was in the
Just Kill Me. That was me.
That was you.
Oh, is he Peppers Mahomes?
That was right, yeah. But that wasn't last year, was it?
That was.
Oh. Did he get fourth place last year?
Let me take a look. So, the seventh place game, he won seventh place. So it wasn't.
Damn.
If he won eighth, it would have been right. No, ninth, 12th, 11th, 10th. Yeah, ninth would have been it. So that's pretty much our fantasy football.
Wait, you didn't give your prediction, did you?
Am I supposed to pick myself, dude, and just totally fucking
give
jinx
your
myself?
Actual prediction. Who do you actually think is going to win, based on the performances and the quality of the teams?
I think it'll be me versus Bill in the finals.
I had a similar pick.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna go chalk, and I think it's gonna be me versus Bill in the finals. And then at that point, let me look at these weeks real quick. Let me see what I got. My team, week 16, God willing, will make it that far. It's gonna be tough. I got Lamar Jackson in Cleveland, DJ Moore in Indianapolis. I got a lot of yellows here. Got Melvin Gordon in Oakland. I like that.
Hey.
Marlon Mack versus Carolina. Love that.
You're just ready to feast on the.
I think I have to pick myself because.
Wow, you heard it here first.
I think I have to pick myself because if I don't believe in me, who else is going to believe in me?
Definitely nobody else.
Definitely nobody else. So. You got Bill. I got myself. We got Colin winning the fourth place fedora again.
It is known.
Let it be written.
And so it is written.
And so it is written. All right. So, do you have anything else you want to add? Any life update? Oh, wait. Colin wrote in a little mailbag question.
Oh, we got a mailbag?
We got a little mailbag.
Is it from Colin or from Black Tide?
He always tries to hide it like it's not from him. Whew. Colin, good thing he hit me up today. He was like, where's the podcast? I was like, dude, where's your fucking
riveting audience? Riveted?
Riveted audience?
And riveting. I would say that we're engaging. We're there.
All right, so we asked the Sacco favorite did that. Best team to miss the playoffs. Oh, that's a good one. Who's the best team to miss the playoffs? I think it's Evan. I think we kind of did that by way of ranking the least likely.
Well,
it was either you or Evan.
Well, there's also
Weaver. Weaver's
obvious.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Weaver was obviously the best team. I think.
Yeah, probably top to bottom best team. I still think that Evan and my team, and even Bacon's team, some days were I mean, we have like put up good points. So I thought all our other teams were pretty close. But yeah, you're probably right. Like any given or most weeks, it would be Weaver's team.
Yeah, I would say Weaver's team. Although it would be fun to dive in and see how many times he actually scored his projection. So there you go, Weaver. And Black Tide also asked the weakest team to make the playoffs. We kind of did that. We think it's Hawk and
We think
Cock.
it's Hawk and Cock,
Yeah. Scariest team in the playoffs. Who do you not want to see? I guess he wants us to say Colin, but
Well, no, I think he wants you to say who you think, because you're in the playoffs.
who would I least like to see in
if
the
you
playoffs?
had to pick of the 5 other
Dude,
people?
by the way, I don't know if you can do this. I think it'd be super fun if after the bye week in the championship bracket, we got to pick who we played. Like the guy in first got to pick, like call out their matchup.
Oh, wow.
That'd be kind of fun. That would lead to like some serious like shit talking. Like,
Yeah.
like let's say Max and Colin wins, and I'm in the first place. I can say I want to play Colin,
Yeah.
and then Max plays the second seed.
Interesting.
That'd be fun. I don't know if we can do that, but that'd be fun to do that.
I'm sure we could just reseed it.
I think Max is the scariest team in the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, obviously Bill for me is a scary team to play.
Yeah.
No one wants to play Bill, but I think Max is a pretty scary team as well.
Dalvin
I'm
Cook
not
is
scared of
nasty.
Colin or Hawk and Cock, and I'm not really scared of Pebbles at this point. I think Pebbles is a paper tiger. His so yeah, who if you were all right, and then we'll do the consolation. Who do you?
Oh, who am I most scared of in the
Who are
consolation?
you most scared of?
I
in the
actually already said it.
consolation?
I'm scared of Evan's team. I mean, of the 4 teams, it's
Yeah.
Evans for sure.
So you're playing Evan.
Yeah,
And you could
don't
go
wanna-
directly to the Sacco Bowl.
I think I'm going to the Sacco. I think,
Question. You're in the Sacco Bowl.
Yeah.
You lose. How are you going to sneak those shots
What?
next season? You have to sneak them. You're not going to take them in front of Noelle every morning at 10
Oh, yeah.
o'clock.
Well, I'm going to pull the bacon and I'm going to do it like 3 times.
Do it in the bathroom.
What?
I'm coming, honey.
It's fine.
What are your children going to think? Your cat children.
Oh,
Daddy's drunk again. 10 o'clock.
they're
in
just
the
like,
morning.
feed me more pumpkin and it'll be fine.
Anyway, we all pretty much get drunk at 10 o'clock in the morning for football. Most disappointing team this season. I think it has to be Weaver as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every week it seemed like he's had some terrible
Like
loss.
a bad beat.
Yeah.
And also is
I would also in the running though is Bacon's team because he just the fact that he had so fewer wins than everybody. Like he was early on just couldn't. His one win was against me when he was in the running for the money. Other than that, he actually might have won the money. But
speaking
other
of
than
which, I won the money last week. Pay me, Pebbles. Your boy needs it. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So most disappointing, you think Bacon over Weaver?
no, it's probably Weaver. I just wanted to give a shout out to how
I
continued
think
shout out to
Evan's
Bacon.
team is pretty disappointing.
Evan's team,
Lots of injuries
yeah.
and lots of high scores against him.
Yeah, he did get high scored.
Yeah, high scored a lot.
I high scored on him.
But I'd still say it's Weaver.
I did high score on Bacon too. No, wait, no. Bacon high
Get
scored
him.
on me.
Get him.
And it all blurs into one big loss.
And then the most disappointing thing. All right, sorry. Best pick from the entire draft. Obviously, I have to go Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's probably the best
That's
one.
what I would pick.
Same thing as
Yeah.
Mahomes last year.
Yeah, Mahomes last year. He's pretty much my ticket to like 28 to 34 points every single week.
Yeah.
It's a nice floor to start out with.
Yeah.
So
Can't
now that
really
I've
think
said
of any
that,
other ones.
now that I said that, I'm for sure going directly into 4th place.
Yes.
After I projected myself to win and talked about how good Lamar Jackson's going to do.
You could also argue that taking McCaffrey 3,
If you call him McCaffrey one more time.
what is it?
McCaffrey.
It has a T in it.
There's no T in it.
Hold on.
McCaffrey.
McCafferty.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It is McCaffrey.
no shit.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna bust with rage if you keep saying McCafferty. He's some dork in math class.
Mrs. McCafferty.
We're gonna get you. All right, we're done.
Where are we going with that one? Fucking
So you said
Chris
McCafferty.
D'Elia over here.
McCafferty is still the first.
You just said McCafferty.
Christian
He's been the most consistent player.
Christopher
until-
McCafferty.
to not even have the choice to have it just be kind of not, I don't want to say given to him. He earned the 3rd pick,
Yeah.
and then but to like choose between him and Zeke, it's a nice spot to be.
I actually had that same situation in my other league where I
don't know what that is.
I could wager. I picked McCafferty.
Who's that?
But that was before, and like I think the next day it turned out that Ezekiel Elliott was like coming back from his holdout, and I was like, ugh. And I wonder if Bill felt that as well, because I was.
I'm curious what he.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was like in the. He's probably just like in a field somewhere, just like making pour over coffee out of like a Camelback, and just like
what
hiking. I don't know, doing hiking and
what is he, a Yeti, dude? Did you see how bad it's snowing up there?
This was in September.
Oh yeah. For sure, he was doing all that then.
Yeah. He was still outside.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think we have answered all the questions. Black Tide, nice. And then I think Nate Kirchhoffer hit me with a email as well. What? Trying to get me to sign up for Santa Barbara Youth Ultimate shit. So the answer to that is no, Nate. Thanks for participating.
Do you think he was contacting you because he thought you had like kids
or money? Anyway, so now finally Adam and I are here alone in the room, and once we hang up, we're gonna hold hands and close our eyes and pretend we're in a field of poppies
with our pour over coffee.
Our pour over coffees out of our Camelback. Our rainbow headbands, and together we're just a couple of best friends hanging out.
Best friends hanging out.
Best friends hanging out.
Best friends hanging out. Best